Okay, we're recording. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, if there's any questions on anything, feel free to use the chat button to myself, or if you'd like to ask anything of the group, feel free to use that as well. So we're kind of getting back to our Zoom component. Do want to go through a couple of updates. Greg Long is on the line, and Greg, maybe you could give a quick update as to how the presentation went with the Veterans Day program. I don't know if you can unmute.
Good. Can you hear me now?
Yep, sounds good, Greg.
All right. Let me find something here. Yeah, well, as you, some of you know, last Wednesday, we dedicated our Fallen Soldiers Memorial at the cemetery. We had perfect weather, although it rained in the morning. I think we had perfect weather. We had probably 75 to 100 people there. I think it was a great day for Rotary. I'm very appreciative that the Rotary Club took this on and allowed us to use the foundation to get the donations, and that was very easy to collect the 12,000 it took to put the memorial up. And then I think it was a very good day, not only for the fallen soldiers, but for the Wooster Rotary Club. Justin, you and Kim were there, made presentations. I thought it went very, very well.
Yeah, well done, Greg. Great attendance. I don't know how many you had. It
Was probably 80, 90. Don't you?
It was a number of them. I was real pleased with the turnout.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Greg, for that, and then Sue, thank you for your comments. Yeah, it was an awesome ceremony and a beautiful memorial. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that, it's the second entry there at the cemetery, and it's generally right there, and you'll be able to see that. So, Greg, thank you for your leadership in that.
Had to do it.
Daryl Lee, I don't know if he's on the line. He is heading up our food drive and wanted to give us a quick update. If I don't hear his voice here quickly, I'll give that update. Daryl, are you with us? Okay. Then I'll give the update. It looks like we had about 25,000 food items that were donated, both from Triway and Wooster. So Dr. Tess, thank you for doing that. I know that you guys extra duty because you took on those hauling and collection duties internally. So for that, your continued support of the food drive and Rotary. Thank you, Dr. Tess. We appreciate that. Thanks, man. And I don't know if there's anything you want to say, Doc, go for it.
You know, I'm sure that I can speak for Nate Shinnon-Wolf as well. You know, being in a hybrid schedule, the collection was significantly down, and you know, it was tough. We feel horrible about that. We've reached out to people and said that we'll make another stab at this right before the holiday. But with a 2-day-a-week schedule, I think that's what happened. But collection was down, but we certainly, as you said, I think it was about 25,000, Justin.
Yep.
Yeah, that will help the food pantry for sure during the holiday here. Good, great program though.
Well, thanks, Doc. Appreciate that. Seeing, and I'll get used to this, but
seeing if Joy Schmidt is on. If not, the door hanger program, I know a number of volunteers went out and canvassed some of the streets with door hangers promoting the flight program. So hopefully we'll be able to see some positive results for that. So Joy, thank you for your leadership. Yeah.
Justin, we've already gotten 20 new applications just since those went out.
Cool, cause and effect, that's awesome. So
yep.
I know that being a volunteer, I know Samara, you helped as well. When people were out, people did come up and ask what we were doing, and if they weren't subscribers, they were supportive of the program, and there wasn't any negative response at all. So thank you for those who volunteered their time. Joy, thanks again for leading that up. Well done. A meal with a mission. Just want to hit on that real quick. That is still set for December 7th. We obviously anticipate that most of it will be a drive-through component. This is something that not only Rotary could use, but of all years, honestly, this is probably something that TJs could use as well, right? TJs and CWs. So we are trying to hold that date. We will continue to see what happens with the governor's orders. If you paid and we do not have the event, then it will automatically go back to your either credit card fully, or if you wrote a check, we'll make sure to get that back. So Greg Long and Lynn, you guys are tracking some of those sales, so don't be scared to buy those tickets, and we'll make sure that if it doesn't happen, that you get your money back. Okay. Currently,
Absolutely.
yeah, yep. Greg says yes. So we have 56 people that have, or 56 tickets rather, that have sold out. So December 7th, we've got 3 more weeks, so we'll make a push on that. Any questions on that piece? No. And then also Tom Rumbaugh, I don't know if he's on here, but most of our flags came back on Saturday, and appreciate the volunteers that were there to collect those. So our year is pretty much drawn out, so you'll see us do maintenance then early spring as we kick off the 2021 season this spring. Susan, you have anything else on that piece?
Just a comment, the ones that didn't get picked up aren't there anymore, probably, after that storm.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I was gonna say, it was an interesting weekend, and on Sunday, that storm that rolled in was something else. So, does anybody else have any comments, announcements, or would like to put that in the chat or bring anything to my attention before we turn things over to Matt Yost? Okay. So again, folks, you will, just a reminder, you'll get an email from me that will, middle of the week, that will tell you who we have for the 23rd. And then again, I'll Zoom until we feel it's safe to gather back in person. So, all right, without further ado, I'll turn things over to Matt Yost, who is going to introduce today's speaker. Matt?
All right, thanks, Justin. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today our guest speaker, Bekah Hilty. Bekah serves as the Assistant Director at the Pregnancy Care Center of Wayne County, and in January of 2021 will transition into her role as the Executive Director. Bekah grew up in Huron and then went on to Malone College, where she was a standout All-Ohio pitcher on the softball team. When she wasn't playing softball, she was busy studying and earning her degree in community healthy education. Bekah started her career in human resources, which is where her passion for serving people first began to take root. She worked in HR for 11 years in private industry, and then went on to work at Grace Church here in Worcester on their leadership team for 5 years. It's during her time at Grace Church where Bekah was first introduced to the Pregnancy Care Center. Bekah began serving at the Pregnancy Care Center as a volunteer 8 years ago. She has a rich history with the center, serving as a client advocate, a member of the board of directors, and an instructor of the Healthy Choices for Healthy Teens program. She and her husband, Drew, have 2 kids and live here in Worcester. When they're not busy transporting their kids to and from various athletic and 4-H activities, they spend a lot of their time camping. Bekah's passionate about helping others find significance in their life. She's also unapologetically pro-life. She believes that every person was created for a purpose, and her mission is to help people discover that purpose. Bekah has a vision to see the Pregnancy Care Center become a place where those in our community can come to find hope and healing. She loves Worcester and Wayne County and is excited about leading the Pregnancy Care Center into partnership with others in our community. On a personal note, Bekah and Drew are my next door neighbors and close family friends of ours. I can vouch for her passion for helping people, and I'm looking forward to what she brings to the Pregnancy Care Center when she takes over as the Executive Director. Please help me in welcoming by Zoom, Bekah Hilty.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hopefully, great. Okay, well, thanks so much for being here today and for the opportunity to share with you guys. As Matt said, I started working here full-time at the beginning of the year, and I was in a meeting in the beginning of the year with another organization that we work with, and they made the comment that the Pregnancy Care Center is the best kept secret in Wayne County. And since that day, I have been on a mission to change that, because I don't want our center or what we do to be a secret. I want people to be aware of what we do. And we love working with other organizations within our community and partnering with other organizations. And so it's just a goal of mine to let people know what we do here. And so thanks so much for being here today. I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can follow along with me. I just had to do this with a class, so hopefully it works. Can everybody see that? Good. Okay. So we actually just launched this new logo. If you're familiar with the Pregnancy Care Center at all, we started back in 1984. It was started by a few individuals who had a passion for helping women facing unplanned pregnancies. And so this year, actually, we just redid our logo. And if you're looking at our logo, wondering what does that mean, those two, well, there's a set of vertical lines and a set of horizontal lines there. And when you're looking at the logo, those vertical and horizontal lines are the universal symbol for a positive pregnancy test. And so if you're aware of with what we do here, if you're not, our goal is to help women who are facing unplanned pregnancies. That's been our mission since 1984. But over the last 36 years, that's grown into a lot more. So I wanted to share a little bit about that with you all today. And so here on your screen is listed all the different services that we do here. And I'm going to go through some of them. I'm not going to highlight on every single one of them, but I'm going to highlight on some of the ones that people may not be aware of, and just go from there. So I want to start with our medical, because I'm not sure if everyone's aware that in 2014, our clinic actually became a licensed medical clinic. We currently operate under the direction of Dr. John Weeman. If you're not familiar with who that is, he is a OBGYN here in Worcester. And so he became our medical director just this year. We were under Dr. Benicos before that, before she retired. And so what you're looking at right now is in the middle is a picture of our medical room in our facility, where we do pregnancy testing, we do ultrasounds, we do STD testing and treatment, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. We also give out information regarding pregnancies. We talk about, we educate women and men about parenting, about adoption, and about abortion. And so we educate them on those three things. We don't refer for abortions, or we don't perform abortions, but we do educate our clients about them. And so this is the room where all that happens. This is a cute family. They were in here just a couple of weeks ago for an ultrasound, and their little girl there was so excited that she was going to have a little brother or sister. We don't know the gender in that picture, but that's just one of our clients coming in for an ultrasound. But those are the different medical services that we do here. The ladies you see pictured on the left, that's Linda Dews. She is our nurse manager. We have a full-time nurse manager here. And on the right, that's Elaine. She's a volunteer. They both have gone through some very extensive training with ultrasound to be able to perform ultrasounds. The thing about our ultrasounds to note is that we can only do first and second trimester ultrasounds, and our ultrasounds are limited, meaning that we are just verifying their pregnancy. We're not identifying the gender. We're not, diagnosing with if there's any abnormalities. We are trained to look for that, but we don't diagnose, and we don't consult with them about that. What we do from here is we send all of our pictures and reports on to Dr. Weeman. He then will follow up, and then we report back with the client. And then from there, we refer them on for primary care. We don't take them on as primary care. We do refer them on. We set them up with prenatal vitamins, talk to them about folic acid, talk to them about parenting classes, and those types of things. So this is what we do on the medical side of it. This, like on here. There we go. This slide here. So we just launched an STI clinic here in the fall. We started actually on October 19th. And this is something that we've talked about doing for years, but we just got it launched. And the reason is because there's over 20 million new STDs reported every single year. And half of those are between the ages of 15 and 24. That's also the same age of where most of unplanned pregnancies come from. And so for us, it's a way for us to reach people that we're not currently reaching. With that statistic, that 20 million new STDs every year, that means that every 3.1 seconds, someone's being diagnosed with an STD. And so for us, that's a very alarming number. We go into the schools, most of the schools here in Wayne County and Holmes County, and we do STD education with them. And so it's really important for us to be educating our students about it because they fall into that category. But the reality is it's a huge problem. And so we're just trying to be a part of the solution. We're actually really fortunate to be able to open the clinic. We just received a grant actually from the Wayne County Community Foundation and from Altman for the STI Clinic. So we're pretty excited about that to help with the startup costs and different things like that. But this is a new service. We're just starting to get the word out there. The health department had to suspend their STD testing due to COVID. They had to move everyone to the COVID unit. So this was an opportunity also for us to be able to provide that service, and they've been able to refer people. There are other organizations that do testing in our county. The difference, I would say the one difference for us is that our testing is completely free and confidential. But this slide just kind of shares a little bit about our STD services that we're doing here. This here, I'm assuming that most of you have never been to the Pregnancy Care Center. If you're not sure where we are, we're located in downtown Worcester at 142 West Liberty Street, which is actually the 3rd floor of the Taggart building. And this is our baby store. So something else that we do here is we provide material assistance for all of our clients. And so they can get that by a couple different ways. One is we have clients that come in once every 3 months and we give them $30 in what we call baby bucks, which is free money, but they can go in and shop in our store. And the pictures that you see here pretty much shows you what we provide in our store. Diapers and wipes are the biggest things we provide, but we also have clothing, baby shampoo, baby food and formula. We do blankets, we do newborn baskets. So if any of our clients have a baby, we take a newborn basket to the hospital for them. And all these different products here, they can shop. We have toilet paper. I hear, there's a toilet paper shortage. And so we have toilet paper, we can help with that. On the one picture, you see a lot of hygiene products, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later with a program that we do. But People to People is really good about helping with stock our store with the hygiene products. We are, we're a nonprofit, and so we are funded by donations only. And so everything you see in this store has been donated. We don't purchase anything unless we absolutely need to purchase something. Everything in here has been donated. So we have some really awesome groups that donate to our store. And so that's how it gets stocked. So far this year, we've given out a little over $18,000 in baby bucks to our clients to shop in our store. Now, again, that's free money that they get. So we have clients that take parenting classes with us. And what that means is that every week they come in for a parenting class. Sometimes it's just a female, or it's just a male, or it's a couple. And every time they take a class, they earn $20 in baby bucks. So when they earn that money, then they can come in and they can shop in our store and pick out things for their kiddos. And so that's one way that they can also earn money, those baby bucks, for our store. When COVID happened, luckily we were still considered an essential business in our community. And so we were able to stay open for the most part. And in the month of April, we actually passed out over 4,300 diapers. We saw there was a huge need. We got a lot of phone calls from parents who needed formula, who needed baby food, diapers, wipes, those types of things. And I guess they were flying off the shelves at the stores. And so we were able to provide a lot of that. But yeah, 4,300 diapers in April. So there was still just a really big need for that. Another service that we do, which I'm sure a lot of people are not aware of, and it's one of my absolute favorite programs that we do. It's called Healthy Choices for Healthy Teens. And these pictures that you're seeing is our team that goes out. And what we do is we go to almost all the schools in Wayne County and then a few in Holmes County, and we teach this program. And it's a program for 6th through 12th graders, and every grade is a little bit different as far as what we teach, but basically it's an abstinence program. And we talk about drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and relationships and sex, if I can say that word. But we go in and we teach these kids about the importance of making positive and healthy choices. We talk to them about the importance of setting goals. We talk to them about how it's really important that, you know, they make positive and healthy choices. There's so many pressures around them between their peers and the different people that they're around that influence them. And so this is our team. And what we do is we teach this class. Like right before this, I was teaching a class for Norway via Zoom. And we talked to them just about all the risk and consequences behind these things. And so this is the different teams that go into different classes. At the top, you see Judge Vansicle, and that lady's name is Karen Logston. So they go in and they talk about just basically real life experiences. They tell stories. They tell about people that they've seen come through the court system. Karen lost a grandson to a heroin overdose, and she shares his story and just how his friends were such an influence on his lives. It's a really powerful story. Over on the right, you have Detective McLeod. He's actually going to the schools this Wednesday with Judge Vansicle to talk through that program. Then you have Prosecutor Dan Lutz there and Judge Rickett. And if you've ever been in a courtroom with those guys, they're pretty serious. But if you see them in a classroom with students, they are a hoot. It's my favorite to go with them to the schools because they just really connect with the students. The students love them. They love to hear their stories. But they just have real life situations that they can tell them. And so like this week, we're at Norway. So I'm teaching 8th grade today and tomorrow, and then they'll come in on Wednesday and teach. And it's just a really positive program. You know, our organization is faith-based. I think a lot of people know that, but our school program is all factual. It's all educational. It's factual. There's a curriculum that we use. We don't bring any faith aspect into it. But basically these students, we're just advocates for them. We want them to know that we believe in them. They have great futures if they make good choices. And so it's a really awesome program. We're very fortunate, even with COVID, every school that we have been in still wants us to come in. So we've already been to Dalton this year. We've done Highland. We're in Norway this week. Some of them are via Zoom and some of them were in person. It just depends on the school policies and things like that. But it's a really awesome program. This group of good looking fellas here, this is our Men of Honor team. And basically this group is under the direction of Phil Kleinfelter, who's in the red hat there. He is on staff here. The other 3 are volunteers. They're actually all Men of Honor graduates. And this is a fatherhood program that we have here. If you read any statistics about people that are facing unplanned pregnancies, women, over 60% of women will cite that the father is the biggest influence in their decision. And so this program is designed to help dads just be really good dads, be a great role model for their family, be a good husband, and just be a great positive influence in their family. And so Roth there you see with the name tag on, he was our very first graduate of Men of Honor several years ago. He was addicted to drugs. He had lost custody of his children. He was in a really low place and actually was court ordered to come here, which is something that happens a lot. We get a lot of court orders for our clients to come here, and he was court ordered to be here. And long story short, he got clean. He has custody of his kids back, and now he's one of our volunteers. And so also you're going to see Femi over on the right. He actually works over at Community Action, which is another great partnership that we have within our community. But they lead a program on Tuesday nights for men, and then they also lead a program on Saturday mornings. It's an international group, actually. And some of our international fellows have been sent back to whatever country they're from, and so they actually Zoom in with them. So we're keeping it going, even though COVID's happening. And then something similar, but on the female side, is our Women of Hope program. And this is a group of ladies that go into the Wayne County Jail on Wednesday evenings and teach parenting classes to the inmates there. Currently, because of COVID, that's been suspended as well. But we now are going into the 180 Rehabilitation Center and teaching that same class to the women that have transitioned out of jail into the center. Which the neat thing about that is that they've been able to build relationships with the women while they're in jail. And so now that they're transitioning to the center, they actually know some of the women from this team from being in there, and they've built some really great relationships with them. So we're there every Wednesday from 1 to 2, and we teach a parenting class there. They can actually earn those baby bucks for their class, and then they come over and they shop. And so it's just another great way to interact and to build a relationship with some of the different women in our community. So I've talked through some of these programs already. Just a couple other ones that I don't have a slide for is, like I said, we do adoption and abortion education. This is actually Adoption Awareness Month. And so this weekend, I believe the Daily Record is going to be running an article regarding adoption. And there's a program called Choose Life Funds. And we've had several recipients that have benefited from when someone purchases a Choose Life license plate, we get awarded like this grant, and we can help then pay for the adoption expenses if we have a client that's choosing adoption. And so they're going to be interviewing one of our clients that went through that gave their child up for adoption earlier this year. And then on the flip side, there's a couple that was the recipient of the adoption that received that was able to adopt the baby because of the Choose Life funds. So it's a really neat article you can be looking for this weekend in the Daily Record. But we do adoption counseling here. So if someone does want to choose an adoption for their baby, we will counsel them through that process. We'll help get them connected with an adoption agency. We help them choose birth parents if that's the option that they want to go, and we kind of see them through that process. We also do abortion education here. We also do abortion counseling. So if a woman does choose to have an abortion and they would like to receive counseling because of that, we also do that. We do infant loss support. So that's anyone that's experienced the loss of a child, whether it be miscarriage, stillbirth, whatever the situation is. We do a grief counseling for them here as well. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of services that we do here besides ultrasounds and pregnancy tests. And we just love every single service that we do here. This slide here is just an example. It's just one of our stories this year of a family, one of our clients. And this is why we love to partner with different organizations within our community. This was a client who's been coming to us for a long time. She just recently had a baby at the beginning of the year. And the father of that baby was in jail. And so she was evicted from her home, put into a shelter with her other kids, and was finally able to get a house through Metro. And there's another organization in town called Care and Share that will go in and completely furnish a house for a woman who's coming out of the shelter. So they furnished this house. All the baby items you see in that picture we did a virtual baby shower for them with a church group. And so she was able to go through and pick out all these items on her baby shower for her baby shower. And we purchased them like 70 some items. She's never had a baby shower before. And these are just her kiddos. They were so excited to be in her house. They're still there. She still comes and sees us, but it's just this is one of the reasons why we just love to partner with people within our community, is we get to do stuff like this. It's just a lot of fun. So something that's really exciting that you may or may not have heard about is so I told you we're currently on the 3rd floor of the Taggart building, but we actually just purchased a building at the beginning of October. And so this building, you're probably all pretty familiar with. It's where the House of Hair currently is. It's been like a Little Caesars and a convenience store and a bunch of things like that. But we just purchased this building, and we actually were able to pay cash for the building, which for a nonprofit, as most of you know, is a really big deal. And so we're very excited. The House of Hair is going to be staying, which we're happy about that. We love them. They're going to be a great tenant. And then we're going to be overtaking the other 3 suites. And so currently we're in the process of meeting with contractors and trying to get designs built or laid out and all of that. And so our goal would be to start renovations the first of the year, if we can. And we're really excited because this is going to be able to double the amount of square footage that we currently have. We'll be able to have more clients come in. We're going to be able to have a much larger baby store than what we currently have. We're going to be expanding on our medical facility. It'll improve our client confidentiality and just allow for future growth down the road. In the last 36 years, we've grown a ton. And so we needed a space that could meet the needs that we currently have now, and then allow for any future growth that could come along the way. So we're really excited about this. It's going to give us a lot of better signage, better exposure to the community, because a lot of people they don't even know where we are. And so we're just really excited about this opportunity. This is a little bit of a layout of what it'll look like. It's going to change, I can tell you that right now. But a little bit more of kind of what our layout will look like. We do a lot of counseling, and so we're going to expand upon our counseling rooms. Like I said, we'll have a larger baby store, which will be out front, so more exposure to that, and a larger medical wing. We have to do a lot of shuffling right now in order to see our clients the way we need to. And that's all I got. So I can open it up for questions if people have questions. I'd love to answer any questions that anybody has.
Yeah, Bekah, nicely done. Matt will be facilitating the Q&A. We had a couple questions come in.
Sure.
If you have any questions for Bekah, put those in the chat box. We'll make sure that Matt gets those. So, Matt?
Yeah, Bekah, thanks for sharing. And hopefully after today, the Pregnancy Care Center is not the best kept secret in Wayne County.
I know.
Good to learn about it. So a few questions have come in here. I'll just field these and feed them to you as they come. The first one is a lady asking if she can donate coats or snowsuits for infants. So maybe you can just speak to maybe the broader question of how do we donate for the material assistance? What does that look like?
Absolutely. So currently, and really it's a lot because of space, we will take any items that are new or gently used for any child that's infant to 2 years old. We really can't hold much after that. We just don't have the space. Hopefully in the future with our new building, we will. We might take some stuff that's 3T, but anything like that, or if you have a bunch of winter coats, we have families with older children that we know of that we can just pass them on. So absolutely, we would take them. As long as they're new or gently used, we'll take them. And people just drop them off at our center. We're open from 9 to 4. On Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We're closed on Wednesdays and the weekend.
Okay, thanks. Next question. What is your biggest challenge that you see coming in the future to the Pregnancy Care Center?
It's a great question. Well, we're building this new building. And so we just figuring out what the best way to do that. I would say we are a nonprofit, and so we are funded by donations only. And so that's always a challenge to make sure that we have the funding to be able to provide the services that we want to provide. So we apply for a lot of grants. We have 4 grants that we currently use then with donations. So we're always looking ahead to making sure that financially we're set up to be able to meet the needs in our community. And right now there's a huge need for that. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question here. Is there a typical client that you typically see?
Yeah, so we see a couple typical clients, I guess you would say. We see about 260 clients a month. And a majority of those are clients that are taking our parenting classes. And those come in a variety of ways. We have some that do it because they need help with material assistance. So the diapers, the wipes, those things. We have a lot of clients that are court ordered to be here. We have a great relationship with Children's Services. And so when someone's either in danger of losing a child, or maybe they've already had their kids taken from them, they get assigned to take parenting classes, usually 6 to 12 classes with us, and then their case gets reviewed. And so we have a lot of clients that come to us that way. We have several clients that come because of having an unplanned pregnancy, or somebody that's needing a verification of pregnancy in order to get health insurance. So I would say those are our typical clients that we see on a regular basis.
Okay, thanks. I have one more question here. I'll read it. If anybody else has more questions, go ahead and type them in the chat box. Otherwise, this will be the last one. This person just is asking if someone is interested in getting involved or volunteering, what are some of your needs there and how would they get involved?
Sure. So we have a ton of ways that you can volunteer. Quite frankly, we wouldn't be able to function without our volunteers. They do such a lot for us. And so I have a list. My email's on the screen there, or my cell phone. You can either email me, call me, text me. I can send you a list of all the different opportunities that we have. We have opportunities for people that can come in during the day. For example, everyone that takes a parenting class is meeting with a client advocate, which are actually volunteers. And so all of our volunteers lead the parenting classes. For that, we have people that come in that just organize and sort our baby store. We have people that help with all of our fundraising. We do a couple big fundraisers throughout the year. We have people that donate supplies. We have people that help with our newsletter. So there's a whole list of stuff that I'd love to talk to you. And the first thing I always tell people is come to our center. I'd love to give you a tour and just talk to you more about our mission and our vision for the center. And we kind of start from there.
Where is the center located?
We are right in downtown, right next to the Spoon Market and the Taggart Law Building on the 3rd floor. But soon, next spring, we're going to be down the street right next to TJ's.
Anybody else have any questions for Bekah? Well, seeing none, Bekah, thank you for an enlightening presentation. I know my past life at the chamber, we were down at your facility a couple of times, and to see the
Services that you provide and the growth that you've had most recently, and your future as well. Congratulations to you, and I know that you will do a great job of continuing to provide a valuable service in the community. So. And congratulations on the new position, Bekah.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you. So nicely done on our first virtual Rotary meeting, getting it back into it. Bekah, we'll make sure that we get you a plaque, a Rotary plaque for your presentation today. We'll send that in the mail. But again, thank you for the time.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Just a couple of parting words here, folks, is that if you are receiving a solicitation for every Rotarian every year from the International Rotary, let it be known that we will have our own little campaign for every Rotarian every year, and that will come out of the club. So if you feel so compelled to support International Rotary, go for it. But we hope that you would make that allocation through your Wooster Rotary. So just let it know that will happen here in the coming weeks. Is there any other thing for the good of the order today? If not, folks, we had about 50 people in attendance, and I think overall a job well done. Middle of the week, again, an update with an email outlining our presentation on November 23rd, which is next week, hard to believe. And I hope that everybody has a great and safe week. Thanks again for joining us. Have a good one.